Welcome into OutKick the Show. Snowmageddon, Icemageddon, Snowpocalypse, Icepocalypse, whatever you want to call it. All over the South, everybody has absolutely been deluged. I hope you guys are having a good start to your Monday. I'm going to do the show a little bit early today, and then I am headed out to go try to sled with my kids. All right, couple of things right off the top. First of all, go sign up right now, up to $1,000 free to wager with at FanDuel.com/Clay. That's FanDuel.com/Clay. Tennessee, Michigan, Virginia, Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, West Virginia, Colorado, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, plus more states to come. Up to $1,000 free to wager with. Again, FanDuel.com/Clay. All right, this Snowmageddon, this Icemageddon, whatever you want to call it. Places that usually are not deluged with winter weather all over the state of Texas. Arkansas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama. Everybody is getting absolutely crushed. And I've never seen this much ice. We're not even getting snow, really. It's just ice pounding down, sleet all day long, starting last night. Going to pick up again. I hope we get a little bit more snow instead of the sleet. But your boy's not on television this week. We got the week off of television. I did radio this morning. I was expecting to be traveling to Mexico tomorrow morning early. Instead, all the flights have been canceled pretty much going out of Nashville. Now I'm hoping to get out on Wednesday. I'm not particularly optimistic about it. I'm not a cold weather guy. I'm ready for cold weather to be over. If it's going to be cold weather, I want a monster snowfall where everybody can go out and have fun in it. Not a lot of ice when it's frigid cold, but somehow we're still not getting actual snow, just ice. It's miserable. The roads are difficult. I went out yesterday to get my hair cut and also to go to IHOP. Big time day for me with my 7th grader. And we were slipping and sliding all over the place yesterday before the rain and the ridiculous really even got started. So I hope everybody out there, again, I'm sure I'm missing some states. And I know a lot of you watch in states where there's much worse weather to be concerned about. But when you think about Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, there is a lot of snow-related mess out there, and I hope all of you are as safe as you can be if you're in those states. Some news. Gus Malzahn has officially accepted the Central Florida job. I think this is a whale of a hire for Central Florida. Gus Malzahn has been living in the pressure cooker that is Auburn football for years and years. Now he'll get to step a little bit off the radar and not have as many people paying as much attention to him. I think that he will have way more success. He'll probably be able to recruit pretty well in the state of Florida. I think this is an outstanding hire by Central Florida to get Gus Malzahn in as their head coach. I think he will do very well there. Now, big question for Josh Heupel going forward. Tennessee's head football coach, they've hired now. They're basically the entirety of their staff. First real referendum on Josh Heupel. Fair or foul is going to be next week when one of the best football recruits in the country, the best quarterback recruit in the state of Tennessee in a very long time, Ty Simpson, was going to announce on Friday. He's now down basically to Alabama, Tennessee, or Clemson. The expectation was that he was going to go to Tennessee. His family is connected to Tennessee. This is a must-get. I'm going to be honest with you. Josh Heupel needs, new head coach at Tennessee, needs to get Ty Simpson. Incredible crop of talented 2022 playmakers in the state of Tennessee. This is an early referendum on Josh Heupel. First exam for him, and you want to pass with flying colors. If he gets Ty Simpson, then he's got a top quarterback locked in, and the years ahead can look very good, because if you got a good offense and you got a decent quarterback, then you're going to be able to have success. If you don't have a good quarterback, and that's been Tennessee's issues for the past several years, they've had to rely on Jarek Garantano, and he hasn't been very good most of the time, certainly has been wildly inconsistent. Can Ty Simpson be the guy who weds himself to Josh Heupel? Is he willing to turn down Clemson? Is he willing to turn down Alabama and be the focal point of Tennessee's 2022 recruiting class? That's the first test for Josh Heupel to me. That announcement was scheduled for Friday. By the way, OutKick will be there covering it. I've met Ty Simpson, smart kid. I think he's going to have a good future, whether he goes to Tennessee, Alabama, or to Clemson. But he is announcing at 2 o'clock Central a week from Friday. So we will have somebody there. I would go myself, kind of be interested in seeing the announcement. But I've got television, so I won't be able to go there. Daytona 500. I don't watch a ton of NASCAR, but yesterday, with the delay because of rain, I was watching late night, and when it got down to like 10 laps to go, I tend to focus on it. What a crazy ending. Michael McDowell, who you could have gotten as wild as 100-1 to win the Daytona 500. Joey Logano was in the lead. He got taken out. Explosive ending, literally an explosive ending at the Daytona 500. And it appears that that Michael McDowell is going to be on the OutKick radio program tomorrow, the Daytona 500 winner. I won't be sitting in because I was expecting to be in Mexico. We'll have a couple of guest hosts in for you, but that should be an interesting interview with everybody out there who is interested to see how exactly that will go. But really entertaining ending for the Daytona 500. Even if you're Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski, you probably feel like you got cheated a little bit. What is the legacy of impeachment part 2? I think it's an interesting question. Over the weekend, 57-43 is the vote, nowhere close to the 67 needed in order for Donald Trump to be basically barred from ever running for office again. So he remains a viable candidate, as it were, for 2024. But I think, unfortunately, the legacy of impeachment, with Trump having been impeached twice and twice having been acquitted, is impeachment is just a partisan political process now. I expect it to become fairly standard as a way for political parties to nod towards their bases, which are inevitably going to be angry with the opposition's presidential candidate, whether it's Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, whoever the person might be. I think that we have unleashed impeachment as primarily a political concern. Donald Trump has now beaten impeachment twice. I think the odds of anybody ever being removed from office for impeachment officially are very, very low. I think they have become more unlikely as a result of the double impeachments of Donald Trump, and the actual practical impact, I believe, is negligible in the long run, because twice Donald Trump has been acquitted when it has come to an opportunity to remove him from office. So I think that is the biggest legacy of impeachment going forward. And I think, if anything, this probably strengthens the president, the former president, if he decides to run. Now, I think there's going to be a lot of people running in 2024, because I don't think there's any chance that Joe Biden is going to be running for re-election. And I know a lot of people out there are going to get sick about this idea. But I think the campaign is basically underway already, because when you don't have an incumbent, Kamala Harris is going to be the favorite in the Democratic Party. Probably she will be the nominee. Republicans are going to be wide open as to who the nominee is going to be, because I don't think Donald Trump is going to run again, although there will be a lot of attention foisted upon him as he makes a decision about whether or not to run again. And the primary season in the Republican Party in particular will be wild. It will be interesting to see whether Kamala Harris can basically clean all of the challengers out of the Democratic Party, or whether they will also have a robust and substantial contingent of people running against her. I just find it almost impossible to believe that 82-year-old Joe Biden is going to have any role whatsoever within, frankly, about another year of his presidency at all. Several different storylines that are also out there. I thought this story was funny. I saw it in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend. Valentine's Day. I hope all of you managed to have a decent Valentine's Day with your significant others. There was a study about whether or not women like straight men with cats in their dating profiles. And in case you were wondering, the answer is they do not. Gay men, however, do like men with cats in their profile pictures. I thought this was interesting, however. Women are 3 times as likely to give their phone number to a random guy out on the street if he is walking a dog, as opposed to if he is by himself. They did a study, and this is fascinating. 9% of women were willing to give their phone number to a random stranger who approached them on the street. Good-looking guy they used as the target. But if the guy was walking a dog, women went up to 27% in the likelihood that they were willing to give away their number. So if you are out there right now and you are a single guy and you're trying to up your chances with women, don't get a cat, get a dog, because if you get a cat, the likelihood of women being interested in you declines precipitously. If, on the other hand, you have a dog, women are far more likely to be committed to you. Couple of other stories. Ranking available first rounders. There's a big debate right now, and I was talking about this some on my radio show this morning, and I went through. There are 8 guys that I can count who are first round draft picks in the NFL right now that are effectively available either via trade or free agency right now. And in no particular order, they are Dwayne Haskins, Cam Newton, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitch Trubisky, and Sam Darnold. I think this is a fascinating question right now because everybody is looking for the right quarterback for their team going forward. And Ryan Tannehill was so successful as a former first-round quarterback on the dustbin of history. Basically, the Titans got him for nothing. He came in. He has been wildly successful. And so a lot of teams are looking around and they are saying, hey, who could be our version of Ryan Tannehill? Well, there are 8 of them. Dwayne Haskins, Cam Newton, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitch Trubisky, and Sam Darnold, all of whom it appears it is not going to work out at their initial destination as first-round draft picks. So I rated these guys 1 to 8 in the likelihood that I think they could end up as the next Ryan Tannehill. I encourage you guys out there to rank them yourselves right now. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everybody out there watching this right now. How would you rank these 8? Dwayne Haskins, Cam Newton, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitch Trubisky, Sam Darnold. Who would you put your money behind if you had to sign one of these guys or trade for them? Here are my rankings. Sam Darnold, I've got number 1. Maybe a little bit controversial there, but he's so young, and the New York Jets have been so bad. There have been flashes of really excellence from Sam Darnold. I think with the right coaching and the right situation, he could be much better. He's so young. I'd be willing to take a risk. In the second spot, I've got Carson Wentz, who was capable with Frank Reich of playing at an MVP caliber level. So I've got Carson Wentz sliding in at the second spot. Mariota, I've got at the third. He's taken a team to the playoff. When you saw him come in for the Raiders last year, he played really well in relief with the Oakland Raiders. There's a lot of talk that Mariota may have interest with Washington or with New England willing to make a play for him. I've got Jameis Winston at 4. 30 interceptions in his final year. Maybe he can get smarter. He's still young at protecting the football. If he can, then he potentially could be a guy with an opportunity going forward. Teddy Bridgewater, who was a reclamation project the Saints found a lot of success with, but in watching him play with Carolina, I think he's probably tapped out in terms of what he's capable of. Mitch Trubisky, I'm not a believer in at all with the Bears. I've got him sliding in at the 6th spot. Cam Newton, I believe, is effectively over, and Dwayne Haskins at 8. That's how I would rank the 8 former first-round picks in order of their likelihood of turning into Ryan Tannehill and being a long-time future guy for someone else. In order, Sam Darnold, Carson Wentz, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitch Trubisky, Cam Newton, and Dwayne Haskins are the way that I would rank all of those first-round quarterbacks. You, in the comments, can tell me what you think about those rankings and who you would decide to invest in if you were in that spot going forward. Finally, I don't know if you saw this story. But Minneapolis is now spending millions of dollars to try to hire police. This is one of the most predictable and not surprising at all stories that are out there in any way. Minneapolis made the decision to try to defund their police, and as a result, the overall crime rate in Minneapolis has skyrocketed. They are now spending millions of dollars because they have 200 police officers than fewer that they need following the George Floyd arrest-related issue. Police recorded 532 gunshot victims in 2020, more than double what was reported in 2019. Violent crime was up massively, and carjackings have increased a whopping 331%. Overall murders up 50% as well. So the decision to defund the police, which as I told you before this happened, I said, look guys, you know what's going to happen here. Crime is going to skyrocket as soon as you take police off the streets. Criminals are going to be emboldened. This is one of the dumbest ideas I have ever seen in the history of American public policy. The idea to defund the police, which virtually no one supports, has led to thousands of more deaths all over the country, the majority of them minority. But where this all began was in Minneapolis. Let me repeat this again. Double the number of gunshot victims since last year. Violent crime up massively. Carjackings up 331%. Murders already up 50%, and they are headed to an even higher level in 2021. If you decide to defund the police, the result is simple, and it is easy, and it is incontrovertible. Crime is going to go up, probably in a massive way, which is why defund the police, hashtag defund the police, which was so popular on Twitter, is, I believe, the dumbest idea in the 21st century of American social policy, right up there with all of the schools being shut down. But defunding the police, anyone who ever utters that as a legitimate argument for the rest of your life, you should laugh at, because the data reflects one result when you pull police off the streets. The crime rate skyrockets, more people die, and more violent crime is occurring. This is straightforward. This is simple. This isn't remotely complicated. All right. I love all of you. Good luck, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Tennessee, a little bit of Kentucky, Alabama as well, dealing with this massive storm, Ice-mageddon, Snowmageddon. I'm going outside now, much to my chagrin, to go sledding with my kids. I hope all of you have a fantastic Monday. I'm off television this week. We're shut down. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to eventually get on an airplane and get to the beach, which is where I want to be. Fingers crossed on that. In the meantime, go sign up to $1,000 free. Tennessee, Indiana, Iowa, Illinois, West Virginia, Colorado, Virginia, Michigan, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. FanDuel.com/Clay. This has been OutKick DBAP, unless you need to SBAP. I'll see you guys, because I can't fly out of here tomorrow on this show at a minimum. This has been OutKick the Show.